And now we get to my favorite part of the episode, Hurley and Jack. At the temple, Hurley runs into Jacob, who tells him that somebody is coming to the island, and I want you to help him find it. Who is coming to the island? Is it Widmore? I kind of think that it is Widmore, because they haven't really resolved the whole Widmore-Ben situation, and they kind of have to do that, because it's, you know, like the last season. Now, I have to say that Hurley is absolutely amazing in this episode, especially the way that he tells Dogen off. Did he just call Dogen a samurai? Oh, I get it. It's because the guy who plays Dogen played in The Last Samurai. Ah, that's a good one. And it only gets better when Hurley tries to convince Jack to come with him through the secret tunnel. Obviously, Jack refuses until Hurley says, "He told me to tell you, you have what it takes." And Jack is instantly ready to go see Jacob right then and there. And if you don't remember the significance of this line, let's look at this flashback from season 1.
I had a boy on my table today. I don't know, maybe a year younger than you. He had a bad heart. He got real hairy, real fast. And everybody's looking to your old man to make decisions. And I was able to make those decisions because at the end of the day, after the boy died, I was able to wash my hands and come home to dinner, you know, watch a little Carol Burnett, laugh till my sides hurt. And how can I do that? I mean, even when I fail, how do I do that, Jack? Because I have what it takes. Don't choose, Jack. Don't decide. You don't want to be a hero. You don't want to try and save everyone. Because when you fail, you just don't have what it takes.
This is just one of the strongest Lost-style episodes that I've seen in a long time. It has great humor, great deep moments between characters, and information and hints. I love it. And Hurley has to get even better by comparing Jacob's random appearances to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Jack and Hurley take off through the secret tunnel and out into the jungle, and then they run into Kate. And then Hurley says that Kate is not invited, and then Kate leaves. Thank God! They also find Shannon's inhaler and run into the caves that they used to live in. Inside the caves, we once again get a new look at the Adam and Eve skeletons, which look like they were moved.
Who is he? How did he get here?
Can't exactly perform an autopsy, but doesn't seem to be any major trauma to the bones. There's another one over here. Someone laid them to rest here.
Who?
I don't know.
Where would they come from?
Did that skeleton just move? Yeah, that skeleton just moved. They used to be separate, but now they're together. What, did they time travel together? That doesn't make any sense. They eventually find the Lighthouse, a large towering structure that no one has ever seen on the island before because we weren't looking for it. That is the biggest load of... They go inside the lighthouse to find a huge turn dial with 4 mirrors around it. Each of the coordinates on the dial has a number, and attached to each number is a name. Hurley was instructed by Jacob to turn it to 108 degrees. As Hurley turns it, Jack notices something in the mirror. So Jack realizes that his name is attached to the number 23 and instructs Hurley to turn the dial to 23 degrees. Once it's there, Jack looks in the mirror and sees his old house, the one that he grew up in. But why did this image appear in the mirror? What is the significance of Jack's old house, other than Jack realizing that Jacob has been watching him? So naturally, Jack asks Hurley why Jacob has been keeping tabs on him, becomes angry, and then smashes all 4 mirrors. 4 mirrors? That's a lot of bad luck. You have some ink on your forehead. What, is Jacob a comedian now? Jacob is awesome. I'm sorry, every time Jacob gets on the screen, I absolutely love him. And it appears that he's not too upset about Jack smashing his mirrors in the lighthouse. In fact, It appears that he knew Jack would do this upon seeing the reflection in the mirror. He allowed Jack to see what was in the mirror because Jack needed to understand how important he was. And he also says that Jack is here to do something. He can't be told what that is. He's got to find it for himself. Sometimes you can just hop in the back of a taxi cab and tell someone what to do, and other times you just got to let them look out at the ocean for a while. Jacob then tells Hurley that he had to do whatever he could to get both Jack and Hurley out of that temple because someone bad was coming there. He also says that it's too late to go back and warn them. So Jacob specifically sends Hurley and Jack on a mission just to get them out of the temple. And of course we can all assume that Jacob is protecting them from Smokey. Sawyer's been recruited by Smokey. Kate is running around looking for Claire. John Locke is dead. Hurley and Jack are safe at the lighthouse, and Jen is stuck with Claire and Smokey. At this point, when looking at the characters, I feel that Jack is probably going to be Jacob's ultimate candidate, and Hurley's going to be the one to help him get to where he needs to be. Okay, so now it's time to examine the dial. Jacob told Hurley to move the dial to 108 degrees. 108 is, of course, the sum of all of the hatch numbers together. 4 plus 8 plus 15 plus 16 plus 23 plus 42 is 108. On the dial, the name listed at 108 is Wallace. Keep in mind, so far, the dial has only used last names, and up until this point, there has been no mention of anyone's last name being Wallace. But the name is crossed out, so I don't think it really matters anyways. Kate is listed under Austin and attached to number 51, which is not crossed out. So it would appear that the theory that candidates can only be males is false. We also see several other familiar names listed, such as Linus, Burke, Friendly, and Faraday. Now, many of the names that are crossed out are actually people that are still alive, for instance, Ben Linus. Unless, of course, Roger Linus was a candidate. So what determines how a candidate gets their name crossed off the list? For a full list of the names and numbers that they correspond with as seen on the dial, there will be a link in the sidebar which will take you to lostpedia.com, which is pretty much the best source of lost information on the internet. So check that out after the video if you want to. Last week I asked you guys who you thought was best suited to take Jacob's place as protector of the island, and why do you think that person is a better candidate than everyone else? I'm going to paraphrase these comments, but Pete Stole My Heart 10 says, I think Jack will probably end up being the chosen one simply because he's the leader and has been since season 1. However, I would like Sawyer to be chosen, because I find his arc more redemptive, not to mention more interesting than Jack's. Of course, Jack could be super redeemed later this season, but I don't think that that'll change my feelings about Sawyer. MJ Kobe 140? Username here says, I believe Jack may be the ultimate or best candidate to take over. I feel that many characters are important, but Jack is the most important character in the show. The show began with the opening of his eye. He was the leader and person people followed and looked to in season 1. Jacob is a leader, and Jack seems to be the best person. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Jack. Now, I don't have a question for you guys this week, so instead what you can do is you can leave the most outrageous or interesting theory that is related to Lost that you can think of or have ever heard, and leave that in the comment section below, and next week I will take the craziest or funniest or most interesting and mention it in next week's video. So thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe for future Lost recaps. Next week's episode is entitled Sundown, and it appears to be a Saeed-centric episode. You would think that it would be like a sun-centric episode, because, you know, sundown, you know, maybe like she, like, falls down or something. Who knows? I don't come up with these titles, so there better be a good reason for Saeed's episode to be called Sundown. I think, like, if they were going to kill Sun, that would be a perfect title, like Sundown. Oh, she got, like, down. That's my mom.